For those of you that think racism died back in the 60s, like Sheriff David Clark, and that it only occurs down in the deep south in places like Alabama, Mississippi, and Louisiana, I got a story for you. The two women you see in front of you, their names are Avery Connor and Novella Coleman, set out for a night of fun at a karaoke bar located in Fresno, California. They were shocked when they were asked to leave for being black. Now, they weren't told that they had to leave because they were black, but they were shown that they had to leave because they were black. Avery Connor is 28 years old, stated in an interview that she was new to Fresno, California, and that the establishment by the name of The Brig popped up on a Google search as one of the few places where you can sing karaoke in Fresno. She, along with Novella Coleman, who is 33 years old, and a colleague, went to the bar, signed up to sing a song, but soon realized that while others who had apparently signed up after them, the other people were being called to perform and they hadn't been called. So according to Connor, they asked staffers what was going on. They were told they hadn't purchased enough drinks. Now, Avery Connor and Novella Coleman were there with a group of people, okay? They weren't there solely by themselves, but the other people within their group were white. Anyway, when she and her friends explained that members of their group had indeed purchased drinks, the staff got aggressive with them. One of the employees shouted at them that they needed to buy more drinks. Connor told me, adding, "Another one threw his hands up and started body bumping me in an effort to physically force her out of the bar. When Connor asked the male employee not to touch her, he called the police." Interesting. Connor and Coleman were well versed about discrimination, as both were staff attorneys for the American Civil Liberties Union, affectionately known as the ACLU, and they shared their experience on the ACLU website, and they wrote in detail about the confrontation. In their words, an off-duty server came over to try to smooth things over. We explained that we'd been removed from the karaoke list before we were even told what the rule was, referring to the hadn't bought enough drinks. Not that they hadn't bought any drinks, hadn't bought enough drinks. Connor explained that several other people in the bar hadn't bought any drinks either. She said the rule was just, she being the off-duty server, said the rule was just about business, but showed no interest in enforcing it against anyone else. Okay, so other people are going up, singing their songs, going back, sitting down, and not buying any drinks. Seems a little strange to me. Instead, the off-duty server tried to convince Connor and Coleman to leave. We pointed out that the bar staff was only using the rule against us, and we seemed to be the only two black people in the bar. The light should have come on at that point that something was up here, but Fresno being what it is, there was no light to come on. Connor said that when the police arrived, a number of apparently white bargoers told the officers that they had tried to purchase drinks for Connor and Coleman to ameliorate the situation, but were refused. Okay, so they're sitting there, drinks are being purchased for them, or attempted to be purchased for them, but the bar wouldn't allow it. I wonder why that is. Connor went on to state that some of the patrons even told the police they had never heard of this rule and it didn't exist. The police, obviously taking the side of the bar management, escorted both Connor and Coleman out. Connor stated, being a black woman in America, she had definitely experienced racism and microaggressions, but she added she'd never been kicked out of an establishment because people were refusing to serve her because of her race. She added that she felt demeaned by the incident. It was embarrassing and humiliating and shocking that in 2016 that there were people who felt that it was okay to discriminate against black people because of the color of their skin. It was just a sad and shocking situation. For Connor, writing and speaking publicly about what happened is a way to empower others to come forth with their own experiences. We knew that it was important for us to tell our stories, said Connor, and to make sure that people know that if racism happens, that you should call it out by its name. She added that since she and Coleman wrote about what happened, they had definitely gotten support from people who also experienced racism in different public places. The Brig, which is the establishment, for its part, denies accusations of racism. In an interview with the Huffington Post, bar manager Heidi Wilson said claims of racial discrimination by bar employees are absolutely false. It's not a racial thing whatsoever, she said. That is 100% false. It's because they were loitering and didn't purchase anything, Wilson continued, adding they refused to leave and the police were on our side and escorted them out. Might I say that we have so much different culture in here and we absolutely love it. Everyone has such a wonderful time. Well, everyone except these two ladies. Now, I hope that these ladies file a lawsuit, which they have not ruled that possibility out. In their ACLU blog post, they pointed out the specific ways in which the Brig may have been actually acting illegally. Since a 1964 U.S. Supreme Court decision, it has been clear that federal law prohibits businesses from discriminating on the basis of race. This case confirmed that a restaurant in the segregated Deep South could not refuse to serve black patrons, and that ruling's legacy means that today it's against the law for a bar in Fresno to force us, two black women, to leave over a one-drink rule that the bar only applied to us. And obviously they applied it erroneously since the women had bought drinks. I only hope that they paid for the drinks with a credit card so they have proof of purchase. They continued, the service said it wasn't about race, but for us and for many other patrons it was, adding the server who said it wasn't about race wasn't on the receiving end of the humiliation of being kicked out of a bar. The Fresno Police Department and Bing management did not immediately respond to a request for comment. And you know damn well the police department is not going to say anything, and that the bar has gone on record with the Huffington Post, so they're not going to say anything. This is just an example of what we as black people know continues to occur even to today. That some people, some establishments are racist, plain and simple. The problem that this bar has is that it chose to act in a racist manner against two ACLU attorneys who know the law and who hopefully will have no problem filing a racial discrimination lawsuit against the establishment. Now, I don't know what kind of money they would be looking for, and my feeling is they probably won't sue for any kind of a large amount, but they're going to want to sue in order to protect other people of color's ability to walk into that establishment and be treated fairly, treated just as everyone else who is not a person of color is going to be treated. So I came across this one and I just felt like it needed to be put out there for all of you people who think that we are in a post-racial era. Nothing could be further from the truth.